everyone. My name is Amanda Barber. This is my persuasive speech on organ donation from my Foundations of Oral Communications class. What is organ donation? Organ donation is the process of removing organs or tissue from a live or recently deceased donor to be used in a live person known as a recipient. The first successful living organ transplant took place in 1954. Ronald Herrick donated a kidney for transplant to his identical twin brother Richard. In 1962, the first organ from a deceased donor was transplanted, and since that time, in its nearly 62-year history, there have been successful transplants of organs, tissues, and most recently, the first full face transplant was performed in 2010 in Spain. A transplant is necessary when a recipient's organ has failed them. Diseases such as kidney failure, cirrhosis, and heart and lung disease are treated with organ transplant. For more sensitive organs, like the heart or lungs, transplantation is used as a last resort. Since 1988, over 650,000 transplants have taken place in the United States. So what can be donated? There are up to 25 different organs and tissues that can be donated for transplant. Transplantable organs include the heart, kidneys, liver, lungs, pancreas, and small intestines. Tissues that can be transplanted include blood, blood vessels, bones, bone marrow, cartilage, connective tissues, eyes, heart valves, and skin. Organs are not on the market for sale. There's no preferential treatment when it comes to a person waiting for a donor. A person's race, financial status, gender, or religious affiliation is not taken into consideration. Organs are distributed through the National Donor Waiting List and are selected primarily on medical need, location, and donor-recipient compatibility. The types of organ donations are living donation, deceased donation, and brain death donation. Although most transplantation occurs after the donor has died, there are other options for recipients through living donor transplant. The kidney is the most common organ transplanted through living donor transplant. In this case, the kidney is removed from the donor and transplanted to the recipient. In liver donation, however, a segment of the liver is transplanted and the donor is almost always a relative. Approximately 5,000 living donations occur every year. Although living donation occurs with a relative, 1 in 4 donors is not biologically related to the patient. In deceased donation, the decision to be a donor after death is made. After a donor passes, their organs are then removed and sent to waiting recipients if they are found to be suitable. Brain death occurs when oxygen the blood carries to the brain ceases. The heart may continue to beat, but the brain is no longer functioning. This process is strictly determined by the physician before brain death is pronounced. So who can donate? Organ donation has no age requirements. Anyone over the age of 18 and in some states under the age of 18 can be donors. Infants and even senior citizens have been donors. The BBC reported in 2015 that the youngest organ donor was 74 minutes old. And in Scotland, the oldest organ donor was 107 years old. Having a medical condition does not affect the possibility of organ donation either, unless they are HIV positive, have cancer, or a systemic disorder. Whether or not a person's organs are suitable for transplant is determined after the donor passes. A person that wants to donate their body to science cannot be an organ donor as well. For statistics for organ donation in the United States, every 10 minutes a person is added to the National Transplant Waiting List. The total number of people on the donation waiting list is 119,905 and 77,225 that are on the active waiting list. As of September 23, 2016, there are 10,483 donors in the United States. Approximately 22 people die each day waiting for a transplant. And 1 donor can save up to 8 lives. So we've seen the statistics of organ donation, but organ donation can give recipients a second chance at life and improve the quality of others. There could be a chance for a recipient to no longer need costly medical expenses, freedom from pain, or the ability to hear and see again, or hear and see for the first time. Through organ donation, one person can save up to 8 lives and save and improve the lives for up to 50 people through tissue and skin donation, and eye donation as well. And it's free. It's free to donate. So on average, a transplanted kidney from a cadaveric or deceased donor lasts 15 years. Some transplanted kidneys only last a few weeks, while others function normally for 20 years or more. Generally, kidneys from living donors last longer than those from cadaveric donors. According to the American Liver Foundation, 75% of transplant patients live at least 5 years after surgery. Recipients have been known to live a normal life over 30 years after the operation. For heart transplant recipients, between 85 and 90% of transplant patients live for at least a year after the transplant. 75 are alive for 5 years. Between 50 and 60 are alive after 10 years. Now, some of the myths that surround organ donation are: I'm not healthy enough to be a donor. Medical professionals are the only ones that can make the determination whether or not an organ is suitable for transplant. While some organs may not be suitable, other organs and tissues might be able to be used for transplant. Doctors won't work as hard to save my life during an emergency. Doctors take an oath to save lives, not end them. Organ donation is not considered until after a person is determined to be dead. Physicians who treat patients from emergencies are not the same ones that oversee removal and transplantation of organs. And wealthy people get first dibs. The National Organ Distribution System distributes organs based on the severity of the illness, time spent waiting, blood type, and other important medical information. A person's name, social status, and wealth are never taken into consideration when it comes to organ donation. So some of the average wait times for transplantation are: the kidney is 5 years, the liver 11 months, heart 4 months, lung 4 months, and the kidney and pancreas 1.5 to 2 years. So what can you do to help? 95% of Americans support organ donation. You can sign up to be a donor. You can register with your state's organ donor registry. Say yes when you get or renew your driver's license. Sign a donor card, and make sure you talk to your family and friends to let them know that you are a donor. They will make the final decisions after you have passed. Thank you very much for your time.